Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel TechDataEngineer. So continuing with my GCP series, this is the third video on Cloud Composer, right? So first video we have discussed the theoretical part, what is Composer, what are the component of Composer, why we are using Cloud Composer and all. Then in second video we have seen some use cases like how to debug, how to run your DAG, how to create the DAG with a simple I can say program. Okay, so this is the third video of Cloud Composer series where we are discussing the most frequently asked questions on the Cloud Composer. Okay, so if you are a fresher, you're experienced person, so I have collected the top 10 mostly asked questions on the Cloud Composer, right? So you need to see how to answer these types of questions. Okay, so I'll give the answer of these questions also, right? First, I'll see what are the questions we have, like what is the Cloud Composer and how it is different from the self-managed Apache Airflow, right? So we will see the answer of the first questions. Okay. So we understood what is Cloud Composer. So Cloud Composer basically is a Google managed Apache Airflow service in production, right? So basically Google Cloud Composer is a Apache, so it is basically a Google Cloud is a managed Apache Airflow service, okay, in production. Okay, so the biggest disadvantage of using this Cloud Composer is we don't have to worry about the infrastructure, right? So who is managing the infrastructure and all, scale up, scale down? So Google manage GKE, scaling, upgrade, high availability, everything for me. Okay, so that is the Google Cloud Composer. Okay, in self-managed environment, so in self-managed airflow we have to manage virtual machines, kubernetes cluster, metadata, database, upgrade, fail if any failures are there, so everything we have to manage. But in composer we just have to focus on writing the tag based on our task. Okay, on based on our orchestration logic. So that is the difference between cloud composer on google sorry airflow on google, that is called cloud composer, and self manage things. Okay, so in real projects composer is preferred when you have all the gcp services or other component are on the gcp, and and you want a reliable orchestration with minimal operational overhead, then we have to choose the cloud composer over the self managed. So that is the answer of this first question. Okay, so I'll tell some other points also for the this one cloud versus this one. So so the basic key difference is self managed airflow is like infrastructure management, gke, scaling, upgrade and all, this is everything is handled by google, right? So if you see answer, first answer, first answer. Okay, so cloud composer, and then we have the native self managed. Okay, self managed airflow. So in case of here, so when infrastructure management is easy in case of here. Okay, in infrastructure, infra management is easy here. Okay, easy. Here it is hard. Okay, so if you are choosing the self managed, it is hard. Okay, so high availability is there, high availability, high availability is there, here it is not. Okay, so native integrations with BigQuery, data flow, data proc, GCS, everything we need to do in case of self managed, but that is there in case of cloud composer. Okay, so here it is available easily. Okay, then you have to like metadata and everything is done by cloud sql if you are using the cloud composer, but in case of self managed you have to create, right? So I'll summarize it like when to use self managed, like when self managed is preferred. Okay, So when to prefer the we understood the advantage of Cloud Composer, right? But we need to see that when to prefer the self-managed. Like if we have the heavy airflow customization. So first scenario, if you want something like no, I want like okay, heavy airflow, heavy airflow customization. Okay. So if you want to know, I wanted my airflow and control over the airflow environment. So if you wanted heavy control over that, you need to use the self-managed. Then second thing is non-GCP environment. If you have the non-GCP environment, okay, then you have to use third when you have to use that uh, when custom executor or patches. If you want custom executor, right? Custom executor or patches. So in this scenario, you have to use the self-manage instead of GCP. Okay. So obviously, if you are using GCP in GCP environment, if you're using in production, this is automatically, I can say, reducing the operational overhead. Okay. So these are the benefit of using Cloud Composer over the other part. Okay. Now we will see the second question answer. Okay. So what is Cloud Composer? So explain Cloud Composer architecture and all its core component. Okay. So so in productions like Cloud Composer runs Airflow on top of the GKE cluster, right? We know. So that scheduler. So what are the components we have? So if I'll answer second questions. Okay. So what are the we have the component like scheduler, then we have the workers, then we have the web server, okay, where we are checking the log and UI, then we have the K8 pods, okay, where our jobs are running, okay. So DAG and logs are stored in GCS bucket, right? So if we have the, so I'm explaining the concepts, right? 1 minute, just give me a second. Okay, so I'll explain these other things also. 1 minute. Okay, just give me a second. Yeah, sorry. We have suppose, so we have DAGs and logs are stored in GCS bucket, right? So we have whatever the DAG we are creating, DAG or logs for that job. This is all are storing in the GCS bucket, right? GCS bucket. Okay. Metadata like diagrams and tasks stored in the Google Cloud Postgres, right? So we have metadata, everything, right? So metadata like diagram, whatever the Venn diagrams and all. So this is getting stored in the Cloud SQL, right? Cloud SQL Postgres. Okay, so this I'm explaining to understand like where it is getting stored, right? Then we have to access to the BigQuery, GCS, data flow, data proc happen by IAM and workload identity, not the service account key. Okay, so in Composer 2, everything runs on the private GKE cluster, which is more secure and entire like enterprise setup. Okay, so we understand we have the scheduler, worker, web server, DAX and log is in the GCS, metadata and everything is there, right? I'll add some more point here. right? So core component we have, like we core component we have the scheduler. So scheduler is what, like pass the DAG and schedule the task instant, right? Then what is the worker? Worker is like where execute task, scale automatically. Web server is like a, it is not, web server is nothing but like, it's like Airflow UI. Okay, Airflow UI. Okay, we have the Airflow UI. Then we have the Cloud SQL. So Cloud SQL is basically to store. I have already explained. Cloud SQL is to store metadata and diagram, right? Then we have the GCS bucket to DAG and LON. Then we have the VPC and subnet. Okay, this is very high level, but yeah, this is for networking or private IP. Okay, private IP. We are using this VPC and all. Okay, then we have the service account and all. This is for permission. Okay, so IAM and service account. This is for permission. Okay. So these are the component of Airflow, permissions and access of GCP services. Okay, GCP services. Okay, understood. Now, moving to the third question. So we answered the first two. Moving to the third questions. So how does DAG deployment and synchronization work in the Cloud Composer? Okay. So we need to understand DAG storage. So DAG are stored in cloud managed GCS bucket, right? So if I'll answer third questions, we know, right? So where DAG is getting stored? So DAG is getting stored in managed Composer managed GCS bucket, right? So basically we have the managed GCS bucket, right? We have the manage GCS bucket. So DAGs, whatever the DAGs we have, that everything is getting stored in the manage GCS bucket, right? So what is the sync process we have? What is the sync process we have? So scheduler. So if we have scheduler, right? This scheduler automatically checks the GCS bucket every 30 to 60 second, right? So new or updated DAG are automatically picked up every time. So scheduler scan the GCS bucket every time, every 30 to 60 second. So if there is a new DAG here, it automatically picks that. So we don't have to restart needed, right? So every time don't need to restart the Airflow environment, right? And what is the deployment method we have? So if you see, if you talk about the deployment method, we have the manual. One is the manual approach. Manual is like we can use gsutil, right? Gsutil cps, it's like a command prompt. Other is like a ci cd way, like cloud build or github action, right? Or github actions. Okay. So so based, what is the best practice for this? So one DAG per file, we need to use one DAG, one DAG per file. Okay. Avoid heavy points. Avoid heavy points. Okay. And third thing is validate DAG before deployment. Okay. Validate DAG before deployment. Okay. Okay. So these are the, so we have. Okay. So thank you. Thanks for watching. I'll explain the other question in details in upcoming video. Okay. Thank you.